DM Live TV, your number one digital channel for business, entrepreneurship, and innovation.
Hello, welcome to DM Live TV, your number one channel for business, entrepreneurship, and innovation. Today we bring you a wonderful story of Mr. Arthur Ronald Arinitwe, also known as ARA, and he is the CEO and owner of Task Managers Uganda Limited. And his story is nothing but short of inspirational. I'm sure that when you join us, you'll be just as inspired as I have been. Well, today I have the privilege of having a sit down with an entrepreneur. Well, I could say he's a man with many interests, and we're yet to find out what those interests are. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Arthur Ronnie Arinitwe. Yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tom.
Yes.
We've been talking.
Yes.
It's been a hassle getting me to see the camera. I'm camera shy.
Okay. The camera shy. Well, relax.
So
yeah.
So every thought of being interviewed on camera, freaks me out.
It freaks you out.
But this tea is going to do me good.
It better.
Yeah.
It better. Well,
yeah.
Arthur, welcome to DM Live TV, and it's actually a privilege to be seated across from you, and listening to you. And I hope that our viewers will get as much inspiration as I have received, just from talking to you behind the scenes. So give us a background on who Arthur is. I mean, you started out as a teacher, but now you're a business owner, and just give us a little history on, how on your journey, of being who you are today.
Yeah. So thank you for that. I'm a teacher by profession.
Yeah.
So, but who is Arthur? A very simple guy. From Kabade and Kisoro, born in Kabade, raised in Kisoro. So, and I speak some bit of Rutoro.
Okay.
By business, I'm a data analyst and trainer.
Yeah.
In data analytics.
Okay.
And yes, I'm a teacher by profession. I did education.
Okay.
History, CRE.
Wow.
And so it's strange, data analytics,
and then
history and CRE teacher.
Exactly.
Yeah, but maybe along the way you'll be able to see how that unfolds.
Yeah. Actually, interestingly, along that way is now. So you graduate as a teacher. Was your first job teaching?
I'm a disaster teacher. So this is a story that I always tell, how I found myself as a data analyst.
Yes.
2001, 2001. It starts way back when I finished A level.
Yes.
I wanted to be nothing but a lawyer.
Okay.
And then I performed so well,
yes,
but I was not admitted on government sponsorship.
Yeah.
And then my mother could not afford to pay me for government sponsorship, for private sponsorship
yes,
on law.
On law.
So to satisfy that loss, I ended up doing education. So, but spending 3 years at campus, crying that you missed being a lawyer.
Yes.
So I would read from the law as part of the library,
yes,
of the main lib.
That's where you used to sit.
That's where I used to sit. Perhaps you went to campus when the library had been changed.
Yeah,
so the law section was down in the basement on the right. So one time we were doing some coursework on imperialism. And then you would go to the library and get some books and read, to do some bit of research.
Yes.
So this book was talking about data analysis using Excel 93.
93.
Yes, Excel 93.
Wow.
And I read this book with so much interest, and I saw how a data analyst is key in a business setting. Being able to get numbers and,
yes,
and explain them, yes, you drill through them, forecast, predict,
yes,
and make decisions based on facts, based on numbers.
Yes.
And something occurred to me that, wow, this seems to be actually better than being a lawyer. So this is 2001. So 2002, I kept visiting the same book and reading and seeing graphs and so it stuck in my mind that being a data analyst could actually be a big deal. So 2002, early 2003, we graduate, we go to school to teach. So I was teaching. After school practice, I was given a job, which I did for, I think, 2 months.
Okay, as a teacher.
And they didn't tell me how much I was going to earn. So eventually the headmaster calls me to his office and says, we like you. I had been the best at A level. And we want to retain you as a teacher, but as you can imagine, we don't have money, we don't have PTA, so we're going to be giving you 160,000 per month.
I think you are shocked.
I was in shock because my rent was 140.
Oh my goodness.
And so he says, don't worry, you'll be coming here for food. So I noticed he was still regarding me as a student. And I remember very well that in that conversation, I think somewhere I lost track of what he was saying. I just made up my mind. I just muted.
You muted in your head.
I made up my mind that after this meeting, I'm going to pack and go home. So from the meeting, I just went straight. I think I waited a bit, marked the books, handed them over. I think I just waited for the term to end, did exams, marked the exams quickly. I didn't hand over the report. Off to Kisoro.
It's like, I'm going back
to the street. No job. So a few months later, maybe 2 months, a friend called and said, you know what, there's a job. There's a job here. Can you come? Are you in Kampala? I said, yes, I'm in Kampala.
But you're in Kisoro.
I was in Kisoro. Says, what time can you be here in office? So we used to have buses that would leave at 2 a.m. to Kampala. So I said, tomorrow at 2 p.m.
I'll be there.
I'll be there. Says, come with your CV. Boarded the bus. I was in Kampala at around 10. I had no CV. Went to Makerere, opposite the police. There used to be some stationary guys there. Did the CV quick. Got a border, ran, submitted my CV. Did the interviews the next day. 3 days later, no, actually on the day I did the interview, they said, don't go anywhere. Stay around.
They said, stay here.
Stay around. Stay around. We'll call you. Then, boom, I get a job. What job? Child information analyst. I was like, wow.
You're like,
this is the thing I want to do. This is the thing I want to do. So, shockingly, it didn't turn out to be the analyst that I wanted. There was nothing analysis about it. It was pure paperwork.
It was the title.
Pure paperwork, no computer. It was just a title. And so it was a big loss. And again, I went back into the other feeling of, okay, I wanted to be a data analyst, but this is not data analysis. So that it's that passion of I want to be that led me to discover a few things here and there, self-teach myself, and boom.
So let's talk about your self-teaching, because a lot of people get hung up in the things that they don't like, and then so they're stuck in an 8-to-5 job, that because that's what they studied on campus, and it's not gratifying or rewarding for them, but you now decide to take things into your own hands, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to self-teach myself. So how do you actually, what was the process for you on getting self-taught? So first you got that book in the library, which you kept going to, but then after that, what resources were you able to access that enabled you to self-teach?
So 2008, that's 3 years in the job. I decided I was going to take it in my own hands to, get to become a data analyst,
Yes.
perhaps get a job of a real job of a data analyst.
Yeah.
So I did a certificate in computer applications at Makerere again, Institute of Adult Learning and something. Yeah. And guess what turned out to be? Basics, computer basics. How to double click, how to right click, how to create a folder.
But you didn't have that skill before.
I did, because I was trying a few things here and there. Every time I would get a computer, you know, we would go to surf.
Yes.
We used to have internet cafes, so I knew some bit of those. So I was a bit, maybe what was very intriguing about that is that for the first time I was introduced to how to create a database, access database, and then our trainer, because of my constant bagging of this guy, the things he's telling us about Excel is not what I know. He's telling us about sales, workbooks, you know, toolbars, columns, rows, and I was saying, wait, this not, I've read about graphs, I've read about what if analysis, I've read about situation analysis, you know, I've seen something called a pivot table. Why is it that this guy is not teaching us these things? So
you kept pushing.
I kept pushing and pushing, and then he kept us showing things, you know, statistical inferences, you know. So he was showing us, you know, the Excel is too big. I can't teach it to you now. This is just the basics. So after that course, I think a year later, maybe 2009, is when I went to Sikkim University. For the first time now, I want to go to... I went to the university. Now I want to do a course that makes me a data analyst. So I was very straight. I said, I don't know the courses you offer. I want to do a master's in data analytics. So they said, oh, we don't have that kind of master's here. Maybe in India. Then I said, can I talk to someone? So they brought some old professor, an Indian man. He took me to the boardroom and he asked me questions of what I wanted to be, my journey, like the same way you're asking. And then he tells me, young man, data analysts are self-made.
That's what he said.
Data analysts are self-made. There's no course that's going to make you a data analyst. Data analysts are self-made. I said, I don't understand. He says, yes, because the tools of data analysis are hidden
in
different platforms and software. So they are hidden. So it has to take effort for you to go and dig them out and get them. So I said, okay, so do you know someone who can help me? So he pointed me to some Indian who was working with Crane Bank. He says, go see this guy, tell him I sent you. So I walk from Entebbe Road to Crane Bank. Called the guy, they told me he moved to Bank of Baroda. I walk back, Bank of Baroda, here on Vitara, of Entebbe Road. Entered inside, and then he told me, you know, there's a young man working with Barclays Bank. He's learning Excel. I gave him some book. Get in touch with him. So he gave me the number and name. He was my friend.
Oh, you found the person directing you to is your friend?
He was my friend.
Perfect.
I walked in. I even knew he was a teller. So I walked to the teller. I said, you man, you mean you are learning these things? He said, yeah. He said, let's meet in the evening. So I joined him. He was way ahead of me. And, you know, he started telling me, you learn this, learn this. And unfortunately, when we had just started learning like this, got a big job, out of the country.
Wow.
Back on the street.
So you're back now?
Back alone, on my own. So I became, they call it scavenger. Academic scavenger. So I started, because now I knew the things that I needed. So YouTube and Google became my home.
They became your friends?
YouTube was my thing.
Wow.
YouTube became my addiction. Became my cocaine.
You were stuck there.
I was stuck there. I watched videos and videos. I'd tell you, that I would do. I think there's a time when I had a whole drive full of videos.
A hard drive.
That I had watched.
Yes.
So in a year, I think in 1 year I watched perhaps over 1,000 videos in 1 year. And
all of them around
Excel, advanced Excel, Microsoft Excel.
Yes.
And I became so good with Excel that I could not imagine that there is something that can be solved without Excel. And so many times when people would call me, oh, we have this problem, I would just click. I just click.
You just click.
Until when I remember, and then I would go home, of course, so proud. So one time I remember my wife said, but for how long are you going to do this thing for free?
Yes.
So that's around 2011, 2012.
Yes.
So I was like, let me start a company.
Yes.
So Task Managers was born.
That's how Task Managers
2013.
That's how Task Managers.
Yeah, 2013.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break, and immediately after that break, we're going to get into how Task Managers, began and started doing their thing, and the rest of it. Thank you. Welcome back from the break, and just before we went into the break, Arthur here shared how he had been asked a very important question by his wife. How long will you be doing this for free? But Arthur, before we actually get into how you build Task Managers, I've been wondering how a jobless young person with no income is able to download thousands of videos in that time. And internet is still expensive today, but it was even more expensive then. How were you able to do that? And it can't be that you went to internet cafes, because also then they had controls and measures there at that time. So how were you able to download all these videos, and where did you get this internet from?
Yeah, it's a very interesting story. Very interesting story. That's almost embarrassing to tell. but passion can get you to do crazy things.
Yes.
So there was a time when Coca-Cola had a promotion of 10 MBs per drink. Actually, it was not for every drink. It was for it was luck.
So you open
yeah. So every Sunday, I would go to a place which I knew that was notorious for having wedding venues.
Okay.
And I would pick hundreds of chocolates and put them in
bottle tops. Oh my God.
Bottle tops,
yes.
and then go home and start to open.
One.
So there would be a code
yes.
so there was you would get that code and go to some link on Coca-Cola website and plug in that link and then load the data.
Yes.
So imagine you will load 100 bottle tops to get 1 GB.
Wow.
So there was a time when I went to a canteen and picked bottle tops and put them in my pocket. So I was walking and my pocket was So there's a guy. He didn't have a job also.
Yeah.
And then he saw me. He had me. He was like, "What's that?" So I got from my pocket and put him on the table, and he laughed so hard. And I remember, either from anger or something, I told him, "Watch me."
Yes.
Watch me.
Yes.
I'll give you a job.
Yeah. You told him.
I will. Watch me.
Yeah.
Watch me. You don't know what's loading here.
Yes.
And it was very frustrating. But then I was able to, get through using those MBs and get to this. But then God aids every passion and initiative. There's a way in which God sees that
and then puts sort of providence for you.
So one time I'm seated, frustrated. You can be frustrated. You've watched all the videos, and then there's this nice video you want to watch, but you can't watch it. So some guy called Rodney Barugari walked into where we were seated, small office container, and then says, "You guys, I have an idea." Then he says, "I have loads and loads of videos. I want to give them to you, burn CDs and sell the CDs." Yes. So I said, "What content do you have?" He says, "I have Excel, I have engineering." I was like, "You mean you have Excel? Advanced Excel?" He says, "I have thousands of Excel."
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I have one master, which is from A to Z.
And that's the video you wanted.
The things he had were like miracle. So I told him I'm coming. He says, "Get a hard drive,
Yes.
and come, and get a big one." So on a Good Friday of maybe 2011, we went to his home, put the thing into his computer, and he opened the folder, and I saw that now my journey has begun.
Because everything you needed in terms of
was there. The moment he loaded it like this and plugged, and I got the drive, and you know how you get in something and you're like, I can't wait to get out of this place, because this guy may change his mind.
I know.
So the moment we drove out of the gate, I told my wife, "It's over. Chiwede. She said, "What?" I said, "Chiwede." So from then, I was sure I had achieved what I wanted to do, even before I watched a single video. And that was it. That was it. That was the beginning. And the Task Managers was born when we were ready, when we had the skill. Although data analysts are few, so you have to train
others
literally from the ground up. Yeah.
So, I mean, this is, for me, listening to this just means that if you really want something and you put your mind to it and you stay stuck, you stick to your guns, then providence will appear, or people will show up that have what you need and make it available to you, and then you're able to move forward. So now you've got all this information, you've got what you need, and this also makes a lot of sense. You know how people talk about capital, and they think that capital is really about having cash, yet in actual sense, you got capital. You got capital right there. You knew that now I'm good to go. So you start Task Managers. Just share with us how that process became a reality, and then how you were able to build Task Managers from the ground up to where it is now.
So we start pushing. We start pushing now. Data analytics, Excel training, and of course Excel training. It was Excel. That's all we had in it. We just had Excel before all these other data analytics tools came up. So there are a couple of people that really believe that Excel is a power and could transform businesses. So one of the things that I did when I realized I was not going to to get out there easily was to remember I was just seated and I thought about two things. One, I have to create a very good brand. Someone must see my logo somewhere and ask, who are these guys? second, I needed a noisemaker. I needed some guy who makes so much noise
Yes.
on social media and is believed.
Yes.
So two people came to my mind: Dixon Mushave and Ariho Kamara.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So I called them in one instant. I'm a person who, when I think about something,
Just do it.
go.
Yeah.
So I called Kamara. Kamara says, "I'm in office. Come."
Okay.
So I go there and I say, "I want a logo that speaks."
Yes.
He says, "Oh, okay. You're going to pay me this amount of money." I was like, "Ah." Because you can't get it any cheaper.
Yes.
I said, "Okay. Because of what I want, it's okay. I'll give it to you." Then off I drive back to Kanjocha Street
Yes,
to meet Dixon. So I met Dixon. I said, "Dixon, this is what I'm capable of." I had my laptop. I opened. I showed him a few things. He was like, "What? You don't know what you have.
Yeah.
Let's do a partnership." So we did a partnership, and then he started to market task managers
Yes.
through Hostel Cyber Academy,
Yes.
and then we trained a few classes,
Yes.
and then the classes led to others. You know how you go to train someone, and then to lead to another, and to this to another. Then joined the business network BNI
Yes.
through a client,
Yes.
whom we are training staff for, and then pew, took off.
Amazing.
You find yourself at Vivo, you find yourself at USAID, you find yourself at the DFCU,
Yes.
Mogas, and then it just leads on and leads on and leads on, and here we are.
Amazing. So, I want you to look into the camera and tell our viewers what Task Managers exactly does, so that data analytics can be a huge thing, yeah. But in a layman's language, for a client who maybe has just started out, and what's the importance of data and numbers and being able to interpret this data for an ordinary business person? Yeah.
So data analytics is pretty much can explain it in the context of the law of cause and effect.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if I'm running a business, let's say if I'm running a restaurant, I must know what is it that is bringing business.
Yes.
Okay. Who is actually bringing business? Who are the people that are bringing in business? Which days? Which days do I make the most money? Is it a Friday?
Yeah.
Which time of the day? Is
Yes.
it in the evening?
Yes.
So that it informs your decisions. Your decisions on and also enables you to predict.
Yes.
Because if the pattern shows that every Friday you make so much money from so many people, when those numbers go down, you need to ask yourself why. Okay. So every person who walks into a business is a data source, is a data set,
Yes.
if I may say. So we enable businesses to capture data. First thing,
Yes.
the worst thing that can happen to a business is having no data, no data at
Yeah,
all.
yes.
Is are you able to capture the data?
Yeah.
Once you have the data, then the question of can I make sense of that data becomes very easy.
Yes.
Because now that's where we come in. So for many businesses, businesses which have the potential to grow,
Yes.
they have no data. They can't tell you how many clients they have served. They can't tell you what they sold. They can't
Yes.
tell you what sells the most.
Yes.
It's like running a business in darkness. You're making the money,
But
but
You
you,
don't
can't
know.
explain the source of that money.
Yes.
So one time the trend will change.
yes,
Either a competitor will come and do things better,
And
and
then-
then you don't know where to start from.
that would be an issue.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So how can people access the Task Manager services? And where do they need to go? Do you have a location, or are you purely an online business? Maybe you can tell our people that.
So we are located here in Tinda.
Okay.
Tinda Chugoa, I think that's the name they call it.
Yes.
Coming from Tinda, going down before Friend Supermarket,
Yes.
opposite Isabella.
Yes.
Power House, the only purple building.
Yeah.
Upstairs you see a massive signpost of Task
Task
Managers.
Managers, yes.
But you can also reach us on taskmanagers.net.
Yes.
taskmanagers.net. That's our website.
Yes.
So you'll be able to see all sorts of things. You can WhatsApp us through that, and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Arthur, for your time with us here today and for
Yeah.
being able to share your passion, but also your story. I've
Yeah.
been very inspired.
Yeah.
You know, but the passion is actually transferable.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for being able to share that story. I believe some other people, our viewers, have been inspired as well. And in a special, would also like to give thanks to appreciate the Empire Hotel Limited that gave us a platform to be able to shoot from here today. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next time. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, share, and don't miss an episode. And don't forget to ring that bell right there next to the subscribe button so that you will not miss any episode. We'll see you next week, and thank you.
Thank you, Tom.